Well, the frequency is not on use. This is K4PW, net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. If you have an emergency, please jump right in there. We'll break any time for that. Just give us your address so we know where to pick up the body. Well, pick up the person that's ill, or in a hazardous situation, or the fire department. Anyway, you can check in at any time for that kind of an issue. Don't wait for nothing. For information on this net, you can see us right now on YouTube. The surface, for the face of my radio, you can see how my signal compares to yours, or you can see your signal compared to others in my station, but you can also hear stations you might not otherwise hear. I give you cause to figure out why and upgrade your system. Let's see, you can also go to 146.415.net for information on Simplex. You can also go to groups.io, that's groups.in the Oscar, and sign up for our email reminders. And also a nice forum for about 200 people there for technical information and buying and selling equipment. And of course, just in their search block, put in MJSS, that's Mount Juliet Simplex Society. And you can also, in lieu of all that, you can email me at k4pew at kwrl.net. This is net number 892. Yeah, 892, starting from the north. And we're going to be taking check. Well, first of all, I guess I need to tell you, we did have a great breakfast this morning. I think there were 14 of us there today, and it was really great. It's always good. Doesn't matter if there's 4 or 14 or 24. I think we had a maximum of 26 a few years ago, but it's a good number. Everything's a good number. Where was I? Oh yeah, checking in people. We also have the 2-meter net, followed by the upper sideband net on 2 meters on 144.240. And we have the 50.135 net following that. That's 6 meters on 50.135, followed by the 223.415. And as most of you probably know, we already did the nets on DMR, D-Star, and C4FM. On each of those, we had 6 on DMR, we had 6 on D-Star, and we had 7 on C4FM. So it was a big night for our Cavalcade of Nets. And if you don't know what Cavalcade of Nets is, just look at it. Anyway, we'll start taking check-ins who are people who are mobile or short on time. All right, I got you in there, Tony. Everything going all right?
Yep. I attended Elizabeth St. Vincent's memorial this morning, K4 KTG, and it was a beautiful service. And with all the other activities today, I'm pooped.
Yeah, I imagine. Well, going to a sad event, although okay, it was really a celebration of life, I'm sure.
Yeah, they had a Scottish bagpiper. He had full military honors, so it was quite the service.
Yeah, those are impressive and kind of heart-wrenching, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, very good. Well, I'm glad you had, I don't know if good time is a way to say that, but I'm glad you had a decent time at the event.
Let's just say I had a respectful time.
Very good. That's a good way to put it. Anyway, that was Tony, KF4, KFQ. He's going to bed. Who else is short on time? Or mobile?
K4 ID. Short on time.
Okay, hold on one second. I heard K4 India Delta Charlie. How you doing there, Robin?
Yeah, Robin, that's it.
No, that's all right. There was somebody else in there, and I was trying to think of their name too, but I didn't catch it.
All right, I'm tired. It's been a good day.
Well, good meaning you got a lot done, I hope.
Yep.
Well, very good. Hope things are going well.
All good. Carry on.
Very good. That's Robin down south of me, about 5 miles on the east side of Percy Priest. That's Kilo 4 India Delta Charlie. Who else is? Who was the other station in?
Quebec 4 Alpha Echo Tango.
Well, you got a lot of buzz in your signal there. Are you far away, or are you mobile, or what?
I am on an HT with a roll and feed pole tucked into a tree at a Girl Scout camping facility here. Probably on the east side of Gladeville.
Ah, okay, very good. HT, east side of Gladeville. What kind of antenna are you using?
Got a roll-up cable with a headphone tucked up into a tree.
Oh, yeah. Is it using the old, the 300 ohm TV cable or the bigger stuff, the window wire?
It's window on.
Okay, very good. Well, it's doing okay. Just got a lot of noise in there because of the, just the signal's kind of low for your, because you're about, oh, I don't know how far that is from me, but I'm guessing it's 4 or 5 miles.
Yep, it's pushing a little over 5, probably more like 7.
Yeah, I tried to get hold of you when you did a radio check earlier. We were already on the DMR net, and I tried to jump back in there, but you had already jumped out.
Okay, so you heard me when I tried for the headset check?
I sure did.
Were you able to hear me on C4 FM?
Were I able to hear you on C4 FM? No, apparently not. I did not have you in there.
I could hear the other Chris from Louisville, but you were only coming in like every third or fourth word.
Yeah, that's all I'm worth right there.
Hey, well, thanks for running the net. Thanks for getting my second here. And glad that it worked. I'm going to go with my Cavalcade bag now as a backup.
All right, very good. That's Chris. He's over at a Girl Scout camp with an HT and a roll-up J-pole hanging from a tree. That's Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Echo Tango. It's probably, if you couldn't hear him, that's why. Who else is short on time or mobile? Well, very good. Then we'll start taking check-ins from the north. Please come now.
WB0NOO.
Hey, you trying to avoid me this morning? You always sit at a different part of the table, Mark.
Yeah, well, I'm just lucky that way.
Yeah, me too. Now everything going all right?
Yeah, doing good. Good to see everybody this morning. Even you.
Oh, you get tired of seeing me. We just need different faces in there.
That's good. Had a good breakfast. Had to kind of jump out and get home, but I think I left it in good charge.
Oh yeah, it's always a good time. It really is. It's so did you see that lady that was there from Davidson County? She was she was there for that conservative meeting next door.
No, I missed her.
Oh, it's no big deal. She was just she had kind of she was about, because I think she just said she had just turned 70, but she looked, she was kind of short and heavy set, and not that that's bad. I'm just trying to describe her to you. And she didn't look, and I was talking about, I don't think you had gotten there yet while we were waiting. I said something about the people. I was talking kind of negatively about the people from Long Island and Metro New York. And I said, and she goes, I heard her look over at me. She goes, I'm from New York. I'm like, and she didn't have a happy face. I'm going, I thought she was going to fight me or something.
Yeah, I saw her. I know who you're talking about. I think she could have taken you too.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt, man. You can't. Those people from New York, man, they'd stab you as soon as look at you,
Yep. All right. Well, you sound good. At least I got to talk to somebody on D-Star.
Very good. That was Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar Oscar, and Northwest Wilson. Who else is north? Nobody else north?
City for VUW, Carlin and Bethpage.
I don't know how you got VUW. You didn't ask for that call, did you, Carlin?
No, it came that way. Everybody I tested, they was hoping they'd get a W call, and I don't think anybody got one, but I got that W. I don't know how it happened.
No, it's just funny to have those 3 letters, which are adjacent in the alphabet, and you've got them just a little bit out of order there.
Oh, yeah. But, well, that's how it is. Of course, I had to wait for it to come. The guy that was giving the test and stuff, well, he took all the money and blowed it on his girlfriend, and the test just laid on the table for about 3 months before they finally got submitted.
Oh, my gosh. That's horrible. They got it now, so you can get the call the same day.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was way back in 92 or 93 when that happened.
Oh, no, I guess. Well, even somebody who knows what they're doing, all it takes is goes through the mail and you get it back within a couple of 3 days, even in those days if you did it right.
Oh, yeah. Just got one question. Did you hear the packet burst going on here?
Not at the moment, no.
Yeah, I'm getting it. Just sitting there. I was wondering who's doing that, but oh well. I guess they don't care. Anyway, I'll jump out of here, and I guess I'll listen a little bit more and stuff. By the way, I've got about 20 over on y'all on the TS2000 up there, sounding good up there. So anyway, with that said, good evening to everybody out there. I hope everybody stays warm. It's gonna get cold in the morning, and I guess I'll hand it back over to you, KD4 VW.
Very good. That's Carlin and Bethpage, Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey. And yeah, I have heard Packet on here. Occasionally, I hear somebody. I don't know why they'd be doing it here, since there's a place for, that positioning, that all, global, not the global positioning, but the automatic position reporting, APRS. There's a place for that, and it ain't here anyway. And who else is north or west?
KM4YRF.
Hey, very good. Hope you're all right.
Yeah, I had a little situation in Mount Juliet. I didn't think I was going to make it at all, but I made it back for the 2-meter net.
All right. You made it for the cavalcade, and that's important.
Yeah, everything's okay though.
All right, sounds good. Anything else for the net tonight?
Wayne, I had a real good time at the breakfast today.
Yeah, he seemed like he did. He was a pretty affable guy.
Yeah, he's kind of a talker sometimes.
Oh, that's all right. I mean, it's rare. Not super rare, but it's rare. I walk up and he says, "Hey, I'm Wayne," out of the blue, and he doesn't know me from Adam.
Well, he had already had a little intel about the guys in the group.
You told him to watch out for him and make no sudden moves.
Yeah, I told him, I said, you watch out for that big tall guy.
Very good. No, he seems like a real nice fellow. When's he hoping to take the test?
Well, he's just now starting to study, so it'll be a little bit. And he's already ordered a expensive HT from Bridgecom, and it'll do digital and analog.
You mean like DMR?
Yeah, it'll do DMR and it'll do analog.
Yeah, boy, that was a mistake.
Well, I tried to tell him, but he's been on the online doing a lot of research about it. He just thought that would be a good thing to start with.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's DMR is obviously more problematic than the other modes. Just is, and they pay good money, big money for that DMR radio, and FM you can get a decent radio for $150.
Yeah, I know. I think he kind of did it before he had enough knowledge about it, but I told him he'd been better off getting a little mobile radio and a power supply and starting with that.
Well, he'll get by. Well, see, we live and learn. I really, it's funny how what the heck, we burn up money all over the place in this house.
Oh yeah, I guess I have nothing further, so Paul, back to Ned.
Very good. That's Michael, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot over just on the other west side of the airport, or southeast Nashville, whichever you prefer. But in the bad part, it's in Davidson County. Anyway, who else is west?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
Hello, Greg. Everything all right on your zone?
It is. Yeah, I was looking out for the meteor shower and I see nothing, so don't bother.
Well, maybe it'll show up later. I mean, it just doesn't know what time it's supposed to show up.
Yeah, it's not. It actually had a little bit of light in the sky, so maybe we get darker and we get better. KD4 TV.
Yeah, we used to lay outside, and when I was a kid, we used to lay outside the back lawn in our sleeping bags. We'd sleep outside and watch the meteor, because there was always, you could see meteors every single night. Well, if the sky was clear, that is.
Yeah, very cool. It's not quite dark enough around here, I don't think.
You don't think so? I don't know. I don't know that I paid much attention here. I need to pay more attention to that.
Not to see as much. I'm sure there's stuff to be seen.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, nothing else for the net tonight. We'll catch you over there on the other cavalcade.
See you on the cavalcade, KD4 TV.
Very good. That was Greg, Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo, and Antioch. Who else is west?
KO4 OTV.
Hey, you got your errand run?
I did. Yeah, we were. She came out here right when the net hadn't even started, but I didn't know if you came on or not yet, because me and Greg were trying to make a contact, and right when me and him were talking, you came in and she came out and was ready to go get a pizza. So that's what we did.
Pizza and a 12-pack of Bud Light?
Actually, it was a 6-pack of Michelob Ultra for her, because I don't drink.
Well, tell her not to be drinking that Budweiser. Doesn't she know there's like a serious hit on them with all their problems?
Oh yeah, I did, and she said she didn't care.
Eh, what are you gonna do? Well, I'd hate to see her go, but you know.
Yeah, the first thing I said, you know, Michelob is part of Anheuser-Busch. She said, I don't care. I just need something real quick. I said, all right. And, you know, it's funny we're talking about that. I've been working at the stadium doing some fiber optic the last, it's going on 3 weeks now. And it is amazing. You know, they've had, what was it? Oh, God, what was it? There's a concert last weekend. Luke Combs, that's who it was. And they were stockpiling all the coolers and whatnot out there on the stadium side where all the vendors and stuff set up. And I came back the same weekend, and after the weekend was over, and all that was left in the coolers was Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, and water.
Oh wow! I used to like Michelob Dark. I used to enjoy it. I haven't had one of those in probably 15 years.
I haven't seen a regular Michelob in forever.
Well, I'm not looking for it because I'm like you. I don't drink it with any regularity. Like I said, the last time I think I had a beer was 10 or maybe 11 years ago.
It's been in November. It'll be 19 years since I had a drink.
Oh wow! I guess that's good. I mean, I didn't quit for alcohol abuse reasons. I just I didn't drink much anyway. But my ex-YL, she grew up with an alcoholic, and she just doesn't make a big deal of it. So she just prefers that nobody drink.
Well, I was an alcoholic, pretty rough. I drank enough to float a battleship around.
Oh yeah, I drank enough that I couldn't find my ship.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I got allergic to it and started breaking out in handcuffs.
Yeah, I used to joke, and I said, you know, I used to have this thing I could do that I knew when I had enough to drink, and they go, what's that? I go, I couldn't see anymore.
I couldn't tell you how many times I drove home like that with my one hand over one eye trying to see straight.
Yeah, if it wasn't so serious, it would be funny because it's really, I'm surprised I survived some of that stuff in my earlier years.
Well, that's why I quit. I went through the windshield of my truck, broke my back in 2 places, broke my neck, and lacerated my liver, and that was it. I woke up at Vanderbilt 5 days later out of a coma. I didn't know how in the world I got there in this big metal brace thing, and it went all the way up my neck, and I couldn't move, and I couldn't talk. I had tubes down my throat, and almost went into shock because of it. And I had a long talk with myself real quick. I was like, you know, this is it. I'm not doing this anymore. It scared me to death. Alcohol still to this day scares me to death, and I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, that was kind of the whole reason there.
Yeah, well, they say experience is the best teacher. It's also the most expensive.
That is a fact.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Some people don't survive that.
No, and I shouldn't have. I was down for quite some time over it. And in 2015, I was sober as a bird driving my bike through intersection up in Dixon at the Highway 70 and 96 split. A guy pulls out in front of me on my bike and basically peels my heel off to the bone on my foot and crushed my leg into 1,000 pieces and knocked my shoulder out. And I flipped and carried on through there for about 100 feet from my bike and finally landed in a ditch. And, yeah, I've been running through the ringer, man. I was down for a year on that one.
Oh wow, yeah, that's rough. Rough to go through it twice.
Yeah, that second go around, it about did me in. That was no good. You going through something like that and having to try to get back to physical therapy. You know, they were telling you, you know, you're going to cut my foot off. You know, for 7 months they weren't sure. And finally, you know, I just listened to the doctor and did everything he said, and I was able to keep it. So. But I still live with the pain every day. I'm not gonna lie; it doesn't feel good.
No, well, like I said, you're gonna. I didn't have any of that, and I still have pain.
Oh yeah, I'm not looking forward to getting much older. Honestly, it's. I mean, you know, you go through you live through that pain. It's hard to describe, you know, what it's like every day. But it's nowhere near as bad. But when you got metal in your leg with screws and rods and all that stuff, it's I was battling suicide stuff there for a long time doing all that too. But, you know, I'm over all that. I'm good now. But I tell you, it was sitting there staring at four walls for 10, 11 months at a time, it takes its toll on your brain.
Oh yeah, no, I know a little bit of what you're talking about there. After I got hit by the car, had another illness I had some years ago that kept me in suspense for a long time. But anyway, I'm glad you're better. Anything else for the net besides your girlfriend who drinks Michelob Anheuser-Busch product?
Well, that's it for me, Paul. I'll be on. I guess you're going to be on 6 after the upper side band, correct?
That's affirmative.
All right. Well, I'll see you there then. KO4 OTV.
All right, very good. That's Kilo Oscar 4, Oscar Tango Victor. That's Joel up west in Ashland City. Who else is west?
KG4 ILV, Jack in Donaldson.
Hey, Jack. You made it home, I see.
Oh, yeah. And I just want to check in on the survivors net here. I don't think anybody our age has all their original parts anymore.
I've just lost some of my brain matter. Other than that, I'm fine.
Well, it happens. And anyway, I'll let you get back to it, Paul. Thanks for doing what you do. And it's good to see everybody at the breakfast this morning.
Yeah, we had a good crowd. That's Jack. Kilo Golf for India Lima Victor in Donaldson. Who else is west?
KC4TNQ.
Hello. Who is that? Charles. How are you doing, Charles?
Who is that?
No, I just sometimes I get the call and I'm connecting it to the person and I go, wait a minute. Yeah, it's Charles.
Yeah, I'm sitting playing with WinLink again. I'm playing with Vera now. I'm gonna send you an email for fun.
Very good. What'd you say, Barra?
Yeah, VARA, Vera. It's another form of WinLink. One's RDOP and the other one is Vera.
Oh, great. I think I have heard that term. The reason it threw me a curve, there was where I lived up in New York, there was they had a repeater link system up there, and it was called Barra. That's why I heard Vera, and in my mind I heard Barra.
Yeah, you can do it over VHF too, but I hadn't tried that one yet.
Well, the interesting part of some of that is if you were going to do, just as an aside here, I'm sure you're aware, you can run like any of those texting modes, PSK31 or any of those digital modes in UHF, VHF locally and get a huge message across, and it's better, and there's no restrictions on how many words or letters.
Well, no, I really checked into that far. I just usually do it for testing, just to see if I can do it, and log in and get connected to another station. But it's just fun and trying.
Oh yeah, no question about it. No, I was first introduced to those digital modes, like PSK31 and PSK63 and a bunch of. There's only about 20 of them. But anyway, the first one I did was over UHF VHF, just using that PSK31 digital, and you can get across texting all day long if you want to, and it's there's no special nothing. The other service is just the guy's just got to be, he knows where you are on the waterfall, and I know where he is.
Oh yeah, like station to station.
Yeah, or station to station, or anyone else can. I've done some of that digital modes. I'm not doing the modern ones now, but whereas I even had SWL listeners, send me a card that they heard me talking to a guy in Russia or something on a digital mode.
Oh yeah, they got it where you can do it through a repeater also, and it will store your message until the other station logs in. So that's the part I haven't tried yet.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of that. I didn't. The other one has to log in. Okay, that's very good. That's part of that WinLink system.
Yeah, when you connect, you don't have to have a message in your outbox. You just, when you connect, it will automatically send you any messages sent to you.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, I think a lot of the emergency service, the ARES people use that WinLink, don't they?
Yeah, I think so. They do it sometimes over the Tennessee phone net, sending those messages to each other. When they're trying to send one that they can't get a hold of somebody.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, but that's what's interesting about ham radio. There's only 1,000 ways to skin a cat.
Oh yeah, there's always an answer somewhere for somebody. But anyway, y'all have a good evening. I'll be sitting back listening. Y'all have a good one. 7-3 KC4TQ.
Yeah, very good. That's Charles. He's in West Nashville. Kilo Charlie 4 Tango November, Quebec. Who else is west? or south. We got nobody from the south.
Go forward.
Hey, Larry, your signal got really fuzzy there.
I think it's just me trying to talk.
No, it's really, there's a lot of hash in there tonight, and you're normally not that good at all. Must be some odd conditions.
All right, man. Well, let's go. Keep forward.
Yep, that's Larry in Rockville. Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. Who else? Anybody else south?
K4 TYJ.
Hey, Jim's up.
Checking in for the illustrious Mount Juliet Simplex Net.
Well, you know, tonight is our Cavalcade of Nets, where we do like 7 or 8 nets.
Yeah, there's a plethora of you could join.
Yeah, that's another it's another great word for it, a plethora.
Hey, you're welcome to use it.
Yeah, it sounds like you got a lisp when you say plethora.
Well, you have to just say it. Plethora.
Very good. You've been doing any HF today?
Very little bit. Mostly let's see, I seasoned the griddle, cast iron griddle. I seasoned that, which you would think it wouldn't take that long, but it does. So that was my major project for today. Walk the dog, and it takes a lot of your time. I messed around with my little super duper J pole, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, it's been a nice, relaxing sort of day today. K4 TYJ.
Yeah, when I have over the years seasoned cast iron anything, I put it. You can either stick it in the oven on a relatively low temperature, or you can stick it on the stove and keep an eye on it and just let it sit on the, just sit there, and then just let that oil soak into the pores. And it does take hours.
Well, everything I read, I used vegetable oil, which they recommended because it had a higher smoke point, and 25 degrees above the smoke point. So it was very hot for an hour. It was like 475 degrees for an hour.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. I'm just saying, I don't know what the temperature actually was. I would just set it on the electric grill here, the electric stove here, and just let it fill up the whole pan more or less with the vegetable oil, and just let it, or in this case olive oil, which is a vegetable oil, I guess, and just let it heat up, and all as long as it'll take it, because it doesn't hurt it to have more.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it's yeah. There's so many ways to do it. Everybody has their own super duper method. So whatever floats your boat. Cast iron is hard to beat. It really is. Nice little piece of cookware.
But it sure beats Teflon, because Teflon scrapes off. All that's I don't know if I ever told you real quick. Like, we had my wife years ago, this was back in the 80s. She let a boiling water pot with Teflon boil down to nothing. Forgot it was on. And then that same day, the next morning, we realized the two finches we had were dead. And we didn't put 2 and 2 together until I went, holy crap, that was from the Teflon that burned off, because it gives off poisonous gases when it burns.
Oh wow. Yeah, I bought this. It's a combination griddle on one side and grill on the other side. It's reversible. It wasn't very expensive. Bought it at Walmart, and I plan on using that when I go camping. Throw that over my 2-burner Coleman grill, and yeah, it takes the place of everything. Instead of carrying a whole bag full of stuff, one cast iron grill, pretty much cook anything you need.
Oh, that's cool. So you just flip it over. You make sure the food's off one side, though.
Oh yeah, whatever you want to do. Need the grill, there's the grill. Need the griddle, there you are. And it's cool. You can flip it over that way.
Cool. All right, very good. That was Jim. He's in Woodbury. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. Who else is south?
Comment.
Hey, go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I used to sell furniture, and we did, of course, they sold a fabric covering, and I had more than one customer concerned as to whether it was Teflon based because of their pet birds. So apparently that's the thing.
Oh, it is the thing. It just doesn't come up that often, because you have to actually, this pot burned, the water burned out of it, and it burned off the Teflon.
Yeah, crazy. Katie 4 TV.
Well, I first learned as a Teflon when I was very young. Probably was about 10 or 11. My dad worked at that plant where he would come home with pieces of Teflon because he had to make gasket making for custom made fittings for uh, acid and fuels used in rockets. And he showed me this Teflon pieces. They're real slick, which I'm sure you've seen Teflon pieces, big, and these are big, relatively big pieces of Teflon. You could fit in a shirt pocket. And I said, and he goes, "Ah, that's cool." And this is before they did Teflon pots. And he says, "But there's only one caution: you can't overheat it, or it gives off poisonous gas." I'm like, "Oh, what do I know?" As a kid. And then years later, I find out it does give away. Well, anyway, thanks, Greg. Who else is south or east?
Okay, I'm Park Jimmy.
Hello, Stan. Everything going okay?
Going pretty well, Paul. How about you?
Good. You keeping is your eye straightened out already?
It's in there.
Yeah, I don't know how long that's supposed to take, but I know it does take a little while.
Yeah, I'll be well water. I'll be too well, please.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it's going okay, though. That's great. Anything else for the net?
No, I'm off back to that. Okay, I'm Park Jimmy.
Very good. That's Stan in Lebanon, Kilo Mike 4 Hotel, Quebec Echo. Anybody else east?
KG4 CXE, Christian Royal.
All righty. Yeah, that's such a nice, clear signal there, Chris.
Yours too, man. It always sounds like you're in the room.
No, you don't want that.
Well, it's funny. It was the same way when I was over in Dawson area too. But if you were above. I was at 400 some feet over there, but now I'm just even closer.
Yeah, no, you were doing fine over there in Donaldson. I don't remember where you were in Donaldson.
It was over there in the Bend, Pennington Bend area. So kind of low right there on the river.
Oh yeah, I know about what you're talking about. I get a little confused about because I never really. Well, I'm retired. I don't get out much.
Well, man, yeah. Hey, elevation's kind of crazy in Nashville, anyway. So yeah, it was super low, and I could hear quite a few, but the signal just didn't get out far. But yeah, doing good. How about you?
Oh, doing good. Well, that's the problem is in this here in Tennessee. Well, I'll just say Middle Tennessee. If you're anywhere near the river, you're not in a good spot for VHF UHF.
That's absolutely true. Unless you got some giant tower, but yeah, you still have just a real disadvantage.
Oh yeah, I was trying to connect with somebody. This one of those. The guy came in with that ship came into the port, and a friend of mine, from Evanston, Illinois. He was a radio operator and part of the crew for that landing craft. I don't know if you remember when it came to Nashville a few years ago.
No, I don't remember that.
Anyway, he ran the radio room there. And in fact, I had arranged the first time I was here. I made arrangements with the Nashville Club to allow a bunch of hams to schedule their time in there for operating an original radio room in a U.S. Navy ship that was a part of the landings in Anzio or wherever the heck it was over in Europe during World War II. But anyway, I was trying to connect with him when he was up in Clarksville. Well, there's no talking to somebody in Clarksville when they're at river level.
I can imagine. That's a cool story, though. That's kind of an interesting place to operate.
Oh yeah, it was neat. It's just well, it's nothing new to me, but it's interesting to people who have never been in the Navy. To me, it's like I'm looking back on an old, where I had, my cell number was.
That's one way to look at it, or kind of where you got started there.
No, it was no, it was just you just it's funny. Old. I don't know if you've ever been on any vintage Navy ship, but they all smell the same. They smell like paint and crude oil. That's what they all smell the same. Anyway, and people. That's what it smells like. There's mostly no air conditioning. But anyway, that was Chris in Gladeville. No, not in Gladeville. Rural Hill. That's right. Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. Who else is where I was? East.
KI4ZDG.
KI4ZDG. Yeah, it was good to see you. Finally meet you there, Kevin.
Yeah, good to meet all you guys this morning. Enjoyed breakfast there.
Yeah. How old is your son? I didn't catch that.
He's 13.
Yeah, it's a terrible age.
Right. They get a little bit sassy at that age.
Well, I don't know. It's just they're bringing them to a bunch of guys that are all probably median age, that group was probably 60, and they feel they're kind of out of their elements, you know.
Well, yeah, and he was too busy stuffing his face.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. No big deal. I didn't expect him to go around glad handing everybody in the group.
Right. Yeah, I've been trying to get him a little bit more exposed to radio and everything like that. He went down to Huntsville with me a couple years ago and tried to get his tech, but he didn't do so well on the test.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if somebody had dragged me to, I never went. I never had been one until I was about 18 years ago. But somebody had taken me young, I would have been overwhelmed by going to a place like Huntsville to the Hamfest.
I don't know. He didn't really say a whole lot about it. I don't know. He gets interested and then not, and then interested and not. So, I don't know what his thoughts were about Huntsville really.
Well, it's one of those deals with people or kids. You can't force anybody to like anything. You know, it'll come to him. If he doesn't come to it now, it'll come to it later. If he doesn't, well, whatever, you know.
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to get him exposed every once in a while, and that was a good way to just take him down there where his appetite had his attention, and he was around some other guys.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we live in an age now where, you know, it's like a common social thing to see people walking down the street or sitting, and they're all staring at their mobile phones. And they could be, I think people go to the Eiffel Tower and they stare at their mobile phones, or they go to, you know, they go to see the Glacier National Park and they're staring at their mobile phones.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I just sit there and watch people walk down the street and run into each other, and I about got run over by a guy this afternoon driving down the road, looking at his phone. He was swerving all over the place.
Oh boy, yeah, not good. Anyway, no, I guess I'm glad I grew up without that kind of thing. I mean, we only, you know, they turned the TV stations off at midnight, you know, when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, well, I'm usually asleep by then, but yeah, we I guess what was it, a couple weeks ago? I guess it was Easter weekend. We spent Thursday, Friday, and Saturday out in Centerville, riding four-wheelers, fishing and whatnot. And no, not a whole lot of cell service out there, but I always love those weekends where, you know, we just get away from everything and don't have our phones or mobile devices or anything like that, and just kind of enjoy each other's company and have fun doing something else rather than staring at the screen.
Well, that's what I used to say back in the 90s after I got, you know, PCs became readily available, and I had to have one for work and, you know, all of that. And then you get involved with all this stuff on what you do, what you can and will do on a PC, and also rest. I used to call it computer wrestling because before they got so self-healing in terms of loading programs, etc., you had to often make a lot of changes, you know, in the software to accommodate different things, you know, components, etc. And I used to ask my friends, I go, what did we do with our free time before we had PCs?
I mean, you see all these, I don't know, I love going to old places and just seeing all like the workmanship and the craftsmanship and everything like that. And I, you know, feel like they had so much time back then that they could put a little bit extra effort into making stuff.
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. The crafts, there's a lot of that's slid by the wayside because now everything's, well, you have to be Asian to build anything these days, and you have to move to China because that's where it's all being built. Anyway, anything else for the net, Kevin?
That's it for me. You guys have a good night.
Very good. That's Kevin, Kilo Delta 4 Zulu Delta Golf, and he's in Gladeville. Anybody else east?
W4EBX.
Hey, so wait a minute. How many times I got to bug you by having? You can bring the XYL to breakfast, you know.
Oh man, we were doing yard sales this morning.
Man, do the yard sale people ever get tired of seeing you?
Not yet.
You're not one of those guys who walks up and says, "Look, I'll give you $20 for everything."
No, I wouldn't want to do that. I'm very particular what I buy.
Yeah, except for that shotgun or whatever it was you bought.
Yeah, I lost some money on that one.
Oh, what a pity. Yeah, it's too bad you can't recover that somehow. You should have asked for a what do you call it? Like a not a ransom, but you should have gotten something from the police for giving them a lead.
I gave them a lead on who I bought it from.
Oh, did you tell them about that?
Yeah. I told them where the house was, and I think they went over there and found a bunch of stuff.
Oh my gosh, that's I didn't hear that part. That's funny. Yeah, was there other weapon stuff you mean?
I'm pretty sure there was, but it had probably already been gone when I got there. But you would think that an old shotgun that's kind of rusty and stuff wouldn't be, they wouldn't steal something like that, but they did.
Huh. Yeah, so they had, oh boy, that's horrible. Because you really don't ever know, even on eBay, what's stolen and what's not.
Well, you know what I wonder about eBay is how many radios have people sold and bought, and it's the same radio that eBay is making more money on every time they sell it or buy it. There's some of them that's probably been on there 20 or 30 times.
You think so? Why would I hope not? Well, it doesn't really matter because I'm not buying radios on eBay.
Well, you buy one, you don't like it or something, you want to upgrade or something, you want a dual band instead of a single band. So you sell it and somebody else buys it, figures out, well, I really don't like it that much, so I'm going to sell it too. There's no telling how many radios. That goes for everything that sells on eBay. It's no telling how many times some items have been sold before.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I use a different analogy, is that you go to enough of the ham fests here in Tennessee or go down to Huntsville, and you see some of the same, obviously some same people, and they actually put odometers on some of those old radios, man, because they've been making the rounds for several years.
Yeah, I still like the ones made in the 90s, late 90s. They're still good radios. I kind of lean toward them a lot.
Yeah, oh, I agree. They're very robust compared to what you see now.
Yeah, all right, well, hope everybody's doing okay, and thanks for doing the net before we get.
Yeah, very good. That's Eddie in Gladeville. Whiskey 4, Echo, Bravo, X-Ray. Anybody else east?
Whiskey 8, Papa Lima Alpha, Philip and Tucker's Crossroads.
Very good. Philip and Tucker's Crossroads. I think I told you we were in the wrong place or a different place earlier, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah, I get that confused. That's an odd name to me, and it's Carrie who's in Baird's Mill.
Oh, I'll forgive you.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't know if I get your call wrong or your name wrong now. That would be a cardinal sin.
Oh, well, that'd be all right. I think everybody knows who I am by now.
I hope so. Anyway, everything going all right over in your sector?
Yeah, going pretty good. I was actually over went through Rural Hill today. Heard Chris check in just a minute ago. I went over to Long Hunter State Park and did a Parks on the Air activation. I think I had 64 contacts when I was done. So now I know where Rural Hill is.
Where did you set up over in Long Hunter?
I went back to the last road that goes to the right there, the picnic area, and went in there and found me a picnic table and throwed an antenna up in the tree and started calling CQ and yeah, just had a lot of fun with it.
Last road to the right. You're talking about the one right at the end of the entry road?
Yeah, the one just before the boat ramp.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, okay. I'm a little confused because the one I've been down there, but when we go over to that Couchville Lake, are you talking about that area?
No, Couchville Lake I think is the first one on the left. I think in the back, and then I think there may be a picnic area right across on the right there that goes back. But then I was on back further. I was the second road on the right is where I was at.
Oh yeah, okay. That's the one. I know what you're talking about now. I didn't remember that wasn't on Couchville Lake, but I should have known that. I've been around Couchville Lake about 40 times walking that 2 mile run or 2 mile walk, not running.
Oh yeah, but no, I had a good time. It started sprinkling on us a little bit, and I thought it was going to drop out of the sky more than it did. So I packed up, like I said, like 64 contacts, and so had a successful activation. I was going to mention one more thing. If you've got a group of folks that you know that might be interested in taking the ham radio test, and that happen to fall on one of the breakfast mornings, let me know. And if I get one other VE, you, myself, and that third VE, we could have a test session there at Golden Corral if you think that might be a good idea.
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, one of the guys asked me about that today. What's the next? And I said I contacted through your group, but we can always have him just do it there at the breakfast.
Well, that works for me. Just let me know if you've got a candidate that's interested. But the next test session for Wilson County will be May the 6th, 4:30 p.m. at the Wilson EMA Training Center, which is at 110 Oak Street. But like I said, if anybody wants to come to breakfast and get it done, knocked out, we can do that too.
Yeah, very good. That's Philip in Tucker's Crossroads. Previously mentioned as something else erroneously, but but test locations for tech license or any other license. First Saturday of the month, they're at the Wilson EMA on 110 Oak Street. But I think everybody knows that. I think, but they can also do it. I thought about that, and I'm glad Philip brought that up. We can also do it at the breakfast if somebody wants to do it that way. Anyway, who else? I think that was Philip. Whiskey 8 Papa Lima Alpha in Tucker's Crossroads. Who else is any place anywhere?
WB9 RXK, Mount Juliet.
Hey, John. Good to see you this morning.
Yeah, it was nice, Paul, for you folks to invite me in. Nice group of guys there. Really enjoyed it. Had a good time. And thanks for always a pleasure to drop into your group.
Oh yeah, well, we're glad to have you. Are you seeing much activity on Simplex back in Iowa?
Yeah, there's a couple of nights a week. Wednesday night they've got a Simplex group that meets in Cedar Rapids and up in Dubuque, and they do a little 2-meter sideband, some FM. It's a small group, but a loyal one.
Oh yeah, well it's funny how when any group of hams is interested in a particular mode, they tend to be loyal to it. It's whether that's HS or certain types of HF or certain types of digital or simplex or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's really nice. I'm attempting to get a tower up this summer and get some height. I bought a house on the north side of town, but it's in a little bit of a gully, and it's not the best place. So I need to get up about 60 foot. That's my plan, to get myself a nice vertical antenna up and a couple of dipoles off the standoff, and then I'll be all set.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, again, towers tend to run into a little bit of money.
Oh yeah, that they do. That's for sure.
Well, very good. Anything else for the net, John? How long are you staying?
We'll be here through at least Wednesday, so we'll drop in on your Wednesday night group again.
Oh, that'd be great. That was John. He's normally lives in Iowa, but he here visits his daughter here in Mount Juliet, and that's Whiskey Bravo 9 Romeo X-Ray Kilo. I did get that call right, didn't I, John?
Yeah, you sure did, Paul. Very good. Thank you.
Very good. That was John. Who else is east or anywhere? All righty. Well, we'll move on. Last chance for lurkers, lollygaggers, sandbaggers, scanner listeners, SDR donglers, end-time survivalists, flat earthers, and troglodytes. Anybody, please come in.
KB9 RKK.
I usually drag somebody out. How you doing, Frank?
Good. I'm not sure which one of those I fit in.
Well, we got Scott down, and he won't even answer unless I call for lollygaggers and lurkers and sandbaggers. He won't even answer unless I do that.
Yeah, no, I got up here. I got here 13 after, and I'm like, wow, he's already going north. Wow.
Oh yeah, we're just cruising around. Yeah, got through pretty. There's only about 20 in here tonight, so we're doing fine. It kind of makes for a shorter night.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I don't know what's different, but Joel, what's his name? Jolton, the guy up in Jolton. Is it Charles?
Well, Joel is in Jolton. He's actually Charles, yes, but Charles wasn't on now, was he?
Okay, so it was Joel and Jolton. Okay, so different. Okay, because I was gonna say that signal is strong.
Yeah, he's got a big signal. He's got a good elevation up there, and he's actually just west of Ashland City.
Okay, okay. So there is. So I wasn't crazy. It was Joel. Okay, then you had me second guessing there. Or I had myself second guessing there. But yeah, no, that signal was very strong. So I was like, wow. I was kind of taken back by it. I was like, conditions must be really good today.
Oh yeah, he was a big, strong signal, and even on the DMR, he was. Two of the modes he checked in on. I forget which ones they are, but a big signal out of that area. Yeah, it is good tonight. Much better than normal.
Yeah, everybody that checked in sounds like they're in my driveway today.
Did you go out and look?
No, I know they can't fit. I got too many vehicles out there.
Very good. Anything else for the net, Frank?
Negatives. Sorry I missed the breakfast. I wanted to go, but just had too many things coming up.
Oh yeah, no, we understand. No us, no rules. We're not keeping. I'm not saying we don't miss people there, but we don't keep track either.
Were you able to go to the normal place?
Oh yeah, they were open and everything was fine, and we had to. We were in a little different area, but they pulled a bunch of tables together for us. It was great.
Well, that's good. All right, I'm glad that they don't try to get you out of there too quickly like some other places. So, nope, turn it back over to you. KB9RKK.
Very good. That's Frank, the troglodyte, Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo, Kilo. He's in northwest Mount Juliet, up by the Davidson County wall of shame. Right there on the border almost. Who else? Anybody else? Any place? Anywhere before we move on?
Comment. BKI4SOR. Good evening, Paul.
Oh, hold on. We had a comment, but I also had Richard in there, KI4SIB and KI4SOR. What's up, Richard?
How you doing? Good to see you at breakfast this morning. Good to see everybody. Hope everybody's doing well and liking this weather like I am. Take care of yourself. I get out of the way. I got out of the boat wait. KI4SIB. Thank you for step 3.
Very good. That's Richard and Stephanie, KI4SIB and KI4SOR, west of downtown Dublin. Who else? Who was that other person in there?
I was just going to tell him if he's familiar with the game reserve of Cheatham County, that's where I'm located. I'm about 3 miles from the Dixon County line. KO4 OTV.
Did you catch that, Frank?
Absolutely.
Okay, very good. That's fine. That kind of clears it up. Anybody else? Please come now before we jump out of here. All right, we're going to go right over. We had 20, 25, 22 people tonight. We're going over to upper sideband on 144.240, and we'll see you there momentarily. K4P, baby. This is Kilo 4, Papa Echo Whiskey, Mount Juliet Simplex Radio. That's looking for check-ins from the north. Please come in.
Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo.
Oh, man, sounds so nice and almost as good as FM there, Frank.
Yeah, it's got even more power on. Well, about the same, but sideband just travels so much better.
Oh yeah. Anyway, it's Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo, Frank in Northwest Wilson or Northwest Mount Juliet. Who else is north?
WB0NO.
Yeah, very good. That was Mark in Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar in Northwest Wilson County. Who else is north? No more north. West.
KM4YRF.
KM4YRF. That's Michael there in southeast Nashville. Good signal. Who else is? By the way, my signal didn't get any worse or better. It was so horrible the other night, but it's good tonight.
Yeah, you're S9 and just clear as well.
Yeah, very good. You sound good too. Again, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot in southeast Nashville. Who else is west?
KG4 ILV, Jack and Donaldson.
You sound very good too, Jack. That's Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Who else is West?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
Yep, sounding real good. We're gonna forget those FM nets. We'll use HF. We'll use upper sideband. It's half the signal, but better than half the well, no, it's almost as good as FM. Who else is West? To the south, then, please.
Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet.
Yeah, very good. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. That's Jim there in Woodbury. Sounding good, Jim. Are you running full power, Jim?
No, only 50 watts.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're doing fine. Of course, you're still using the beam, right?
Oh yeah, that's it. Just the beam, 50 watts, pointed at you.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet in Woodbury. Who else is Sal?
Comment.
Hey, go ahead, Michael.
Jim, is that 7 to me? Thank you, sir. I like that.
Yeah, it's really good signal. It's even better, I think, to you, Michael, for some reason. I don't think I had him as S7.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it couldn't be any better for me. Yeah, heck with that. We'll just use upper sideband there, just like you said. All right, back to that. KE4TYJ.
Yeah, very good. Again, that was Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet, Jim in Woodbury. Who else is Sal? South or east?
KG4CXE, Kristen Royal.
All right, we got Chris there. Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. I'm not sure I would have been able to discern your signal from FM. It's so good. Who else is west or east? I mean, east or anywhere? I'm sorry. Say again.
Kilo India 4 Zulu Delta Golf.
Very good. Good to have you in there, Kevin. I think it's the first time. Is this the first time you check in on the sideband?
No, I did last week. I may have the week before. I can't remember.
Okay, I just didn't remember it all. I just you're a new guy. I don't keep track of anybody technically, but there's some that have been on, checking in. I just did a rough calculation, if you can imagine, for the a little over 9.5 years. There's been roughly, what did I say that was? 3,000 check-ins total, about roughly, or was it 30,000? What was it? Anyway, it was a lot.
Well, yeah, you had what? You got almost 900 nets. If you had an average of 30 check-ins, that'd be almost 30,000, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's 26. We said 0. Yeah, that's right. 27, 20, almost 27, 28,000 or so check-ins total. Roughly, 30, average 30 overall per week, or per net, I should say. Anyway, yeah, it's a lot of check-ins. I keep track, but I don't go back and look at it.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I'm glad to be using my radios a little bit more here lately.
Very good. Yeah, well, that's kind of one of the reasons I think we do it is to keep everybody active on all the features. And sometimes people, they go, "Hey, this is the first time I've been on upper sideband and UHF, VHF." They get kind of not excited about it, but they go, "I never thought about doing AM or FM, or FM on 10 meters." Some of the things we do, and it kind of gives everybody an idea. There's a lot more out there and everybody can still be active. Anyway, that was Kevin, Kilo India 4 Zulu Delta Golf in Lakeville. Who else? Any place, anywhere? Kilo. You broke up there a little bit there, Stan. Can you say that again?
Still Mike 4, Quebec Echo.
Hotel Quebec Echo. No, it sounded like it was a little glitch in your microphone or something.
Yeah, not local.
No, you sound fine now. That's Kilo Mike Ford, Hotel Quebec Echo, Stan in Lebanon. Who else? Anybody else? All righty, last chance on this part for the lollygaggers, lurkers, and sandbaggers. All righty, then we're going to move right over. There was 10 of us in here tonight on the upper sideband. We'll move right over to whatever it said we were going. Oh yeah, we're going on to 50.135. Upper sideband on 6 meters. 50. That one, so I'm making notes here. Very good. I'm going to be over there momentarily. Oh, This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. Looking for check-ins on 6 meters. Looking from the north. Please come in. From the west, maybe? Well, let's try this. Is there anybody out there who can give me a radio check? Anybody at all? K4PEW. I'm not hearing a soul. I don't hear even weak stations. Everybody out there? I got nothing. At 6 meters, can it be that bad tonight? Well, I'm going to move over to 223-415 if I don't hear anybody. K4PEW. Is anybody out there? Huh. If somebody text me or something, let's go. Hold on one second. I'm going to stay here for a minute. I want to text Michael if anybody can hear me. Anyway, anybody out there, please come now. 50.135. I am on the right frequency. 50.135. Please come now. I'm glad it's not an emergency. 50.135. This is K4PEW. Man, we're really doing bad tonight. 50.135. All right, I'm going to go over to 223-415. That's where I'm going. K4PW. Is anybody copying me here? 50.135. K4PEW.
Yeah, I got you all. KT4CXC.
I don't know what the story was there. I tuned up on the other antenna and nobody could hear me, and I didn't hear anybody else. Huh. Okay, well, anyway, I'm here now. Let's try this again. Okay, we're looking for from the north. Please come in. Very good, Mark, in northeast or northwest Wilson. Who else is that's I'm sorry, Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar. Who else is north? Nobody else north or west? All right, very good. KO4OTV. That's Kilo Oscar 4 Oscar Tango Victor Joel, west of Ashland City. Who else is west? KM4YRF. That's Michael here in northeast, I'm southeast Nashville. Who else is west? Is everybody copying? I heard somebody in there. Oh, Jack, man, really low. KG4ILV. Jack in Donaldson. Who else is west? KC4TNQ. Very good. That's Charles in West Nashville. Who else is west? Anybody copying anybody else? How about south? South or east?
KG4CXC, Kristen Royal.
Ah, very good. You couldn't hear me on the other antenna, huh?
Nope.
Wow. Maybe I've got it disconnected. What the heck? Got to figure that one out. It might have been on the wrong antenna. I've been doing some wire changes here. Anyway, that was Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo, and that's Chris in Rural Hill. Who else is south or east or anywhere? KM4HQ. I heard you in there, Stan. That's Stan in KM4HQE, Stan in Lebanon. Anybody else? Anybody else? Any place, anywhere, please come down. All righty, we're closing out that portion and moving over to, does anybody hear anything I can't hear? Well, very good. We're going to move right over to 220. This K4 PEW. This is K4 PEW, net control for the Mount Juliet Simpleton's Net. K. Who else is out there tonight?
AM4YRF.
Ah, you sound good there, Mike.
Sound good too, Paul.
Very good. It's Michael over there in southeast Nashville. Who else is out there besides Michael, KM4 YRF and K4 PEW, which is myself? Who else is out there? Greg, you there?
I'm out here at KD4 CVE, and I think Eddie's still in there. You still in here, Eddie? I'm still in here, and everybody is full strength.
Well, signal maybe still full strength. That was Eddie, Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-Ray, but I'm sure everybody can hear Eddie off of his tower there. Who else is any place, anywhere?
KD4 VW, KD4 GNQ.
Ah, very good. I got both Charles in West Nashville, and we've got Carlin. That was Charles KD4. I'll get that straight in a second here. KC4 TNQ Charles in West Nashville, and then we also had Kilo Delta 4 Uniform or Victor Uniform Whiskey, and it's Carlin up in Bethpage. Anybody else?
KC4 LT.
Ah, very good. And Jack at Kilo Delta 4 India Lima Victor. So I can bring you 1, 2, 3, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us. Anybody else in there?
This has been the best time the net so far tonight for me.
In terms of signals and strength, you mean?
Yeah, it seems to be. It must be the meteor shower that I can't see.
It must be. You're right. It sounds about right. Anybody else out there?
What was that?
I just wonder if anybody else is out there. Any other stations out there, please come on. Oh, we got nothing. Anybody else got anything for the net tonight?
How was my signal on 6 meters?
Oh, it's very good on 6 meters.
I'm on the 10 meter antenna.
Oh, wow, that's fun. That tuned up fine. Well, I guess I'm not too surprised. It's a big antenna.
Yeah, but it came right up. I mean, that WR was nothing.
Oh, interesting. You have to figure out where you mark those, all those rods.
Very true. Full strength over here, Michael. Yeah, good deal, Jack. You're full strength here too. I mean, I'm 6 meters too. I can't believe that 10 meter antenna was tuned to 6. I'm just glad it did because the beam is down. That's using the 991 internal tuner.
Mike, were you copying that?
Sorry, no, I didn't. Was that using the 991 internal tuner? Yes, I'm using the internal tuner on the 991. Very good.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to send my 991 back in to the shop because it's giving me some weird stuff. I was telling the guys this morning. If I hook up the 991 on VHF UHF to a dummy load, it shows right on the money, like 1.0 or 1.1, whatever that number is. Right, perfect. If I hook up my network analyzer on the cable that goes to either the new Comet antenna or the old X700 antenna, it will show on the X700 upwards of about a 3 or 4. On the radio it'll show a 4 SWR, and on the Comet it'll show like a 3. But when I hook up the network analyzer to it, it shows 1.2 and 1.4.
Which antenna?
On either of them, they show normal SWR on both antennas on the network analyzer. But when I hook up to the radio says they're 1. Like 3 SWR or 4 SWR.
I don't know. I think for the sake of the accuracy, you start fresh with new feed line and new antenna. Oh.
And a new net control.
Oh.
Yo.
You have a dummy load.
Yeah, that's what I said. I hooked up the dummy load to it, and it comes out perfect.
So with the analyzer, that's perfect on the radio, right? With the dummy load.
Yes.
Sounds like you still got an antenna coax issue of some kind.
I don't know, because like I said, it's odd that the network analyzer doesn't see it. Like I said, the network analyzer shows it to be a normal SWR, right where it's supposed to be.
You've got a piece of coax that's running straight to the 700, and then you have a piece of coax running from the 333. And do you have those on a switch?
Nope, no switch, nothing. Direct shot to both from the radio, one or the other. It's crazy. I was going to post it up to the 991 group on groups.io. I forgot to do that. I was going to do that today just to ask about it, because it doesn't make any sense if the network analyzer looks like it's fine and the radio doesn't think it's fine. But anyway, let me close out at least the YouTube. I don't think people want to hear my radio problems over the YouTube thing. So hold on one second.